All right, you're going to want to hear this because the entire world of online learning just got completely shaken up. We're talking about Coursera and Udemy, two of the absolute titans of the industry, joining forces. Yeah, this is huge. So it all went down on December 17th, 2025. Coursera, the platform with all the top university partnerships and professional degrees, dropped a bombshell announcement. They're buying Udemy, the giant marketplace for pretty much every practical skill under the sun. And look, this isn't just some standard corporate buyout. This is a move that is going to reshape the entire industry. And just how big are we talking? Well, the combined company is valued at a whopping $2.5 billion. That kind of money immediately puts them in a league of their own, giving them the financial firepower to innovate and grow like we've never seen before. But the valuation is only part of the story. What's maybe even more mind-blowing is the sheer number of people involved. Together, they're going to be serving over 200 million learners across the globe. To put that in perspective, that's more than the entire population of Brazil. This move is going to directly affect a massive global community. But a community that big doesn't just appear overnight. It's built from two very, very different companies. So the real question is, how did these two seemingly different players end up sharing the same vision? Well, to get that, we've got to look at what each of them brings to the table. At their core, they really represent two different ways of thinking about learning. You've got Coursera, which has always been about that academic, structured path. Courses that lead to real-deal credentials from universities. Then you have Udemy, which is this incredible, sprawling marketplace built on practical, hands-on skills taught by millions of different creators. Think of it like the formal university merging with the world's biggest, most practical workshop. And when you look at the raw data, you can really see how perfectly they complement each other. Coursera, with its massive 150 million users, brings that academic weight and the big corporate partnerships. Udemy, with its 60 million users, brings a whole universe of practical skills, coding, marketing, photography, you name it, all powered by a huge community of instructors. It's really the perfect marriage of structured learning and real-world skills. So this all leads to the most important question. Why now? Why would they make this massive move at this exact moment in time? The answer honestly boils down to just two letters: AI. This whole deal is a direct strategic shot aimed right at the heart of the biggest shift in the global workforce. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Coursera's CEO, Jeff Maggioncalda, spelled it out himself. He said the demand for AI skills is absolutely exploding, and this merger is designed to meet that demand head-on. He believes it's going to create, in his words, unprecedented opportunities for everybody. So what does that look like as a strategy? Well, their goal is to become the one and only AI everything platform. The whole vision is to create a single place for anyone, from a total beginner to a top-tier professional, can go to get the AI skills they need to stay ahead. And this isn't just some vague idea. We're talking about a super comprehensive curriculum. Things like generative AI for everyone for people just starting out, all the way to deep dives into machine learning and prompt engineering. And critically, they're offering custom AI training programs designed specifically for big companies that need to get their entire workforce up to speed. Now, a merger this big is definitely going to make some waves. So, what are the ripple effects? How does this move fundamentally change the game? Not just for them, but for their competitors, for big companies, and of course, for all of us learners. The impact is going to be immediate and pretty far-reaching. First off, it creates the world's largest online learning hub. Period. That puts a ton of pressure on rivals like LinkedIn Learning and Google. For corporate clients, this is a dream come true, a single place to handle all their upskilling needs. And for us learners, imagine combining Udemy's huge variety of courses with Coursera's official certification. That could seriously boost the quality and value of online courses across the board. And it looks like Wall Street totally agrees. The day the deal was announced, Coursera's stock shot up by 15%. That's not just a small bump. That is a massive vote of confidence from investors who clearly see the incredible potential here. So it all sounds amazing on paper, right? But let's be real for a second. Merging two companies of this size is never, ever simple. There are some pretty significant challenges they're going to have to tackle before this grand vision becomes a reality. The biggest hurdles are really in the nitty-gritty details. I mean, how do you combine two gigantic course libraries without it becoming a confusing mess? And even more critical, how in the world do you move over 200 million user accounts with all of their course progress and certificates without any glitches? The execution on this part is going to be absolutely everything. But even with those challenges, the road ahead seems pretty clear. The company has laid out a blueprint for what they think the future of learning is going to look like. So, what's next on the agenda? The timeline they've set is pretty ambitious. The announcement just happened in December 2025. They expect the deal to be finalized in the first half of 2026. And after that, the real work begins, integrating the platforms. And don't be surprised if you see a new IPO down the line to pour even more fuel on the fire. And that brings us to the final and I think most important question. This whole merger is a massive bet. A bet that the future of work demands a new kind of education, one that's both deeply credible and incredibly practical. If they pull this off, it could unlock a smarter, more skilled global workforce and make top-tier education more accessible than ever before. The real question is, can they actually build it?